All right, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about also about the same thing that we always talk about ignoring your opponent when you see that it's not necessary to play. But this one is a little bit different because we always talk about it from the perspective of the opening. Like, okay, look at in the opening, he plays a move on the first line, ignore. On the second line, ignore. If you see that the move doesn't really threaten anything, ignore. Try to ignore. But even in fighting situations, sometimes because your opponents are not very strong, they're still 20 something Q, they will misjudge and miscalculate, and sometimes they will make moves that you don't, even in a fight, you don't have to respond to. And this is what I wanted to look at. So take a look at this. You're black, and right now you play this move, which is wonderful, double Atari. White connects one, you take, okay. Now you play here, white takes, and here's the question. What's the status of this white group? What's going on right now? This is a life and death puzzle that I think you can definitely solve.
It's on the verge of dying.
Okay.
Uh,
How many points inside does it have?
Not very many. It's got 4
Okay,
maybe.
yeah. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
And so the question is, how is white going to make two eyes next? If you don't play anything right now, how is white going to play? How is white going to make two eyes?
Well, when you put it like that,
How else to
can't.
how else to put it? Yeah, so that's the thing. You see, white just made a move, and because you're fighting and white made a move, you just automatically assume that you have to keep killing it. But actually, the move that white made
Yes.
is a terrible move. White captured a stone, but the status of the group is that white is dead right now. There's only 4 spaces inside, and there's no move for white that will make two eyes next with the next move. White needs 2 moves. Maybe if white gets to play like here and here, okay, that's 2 eyes. But that's 2 moves, not 1.
Yeah.
And that means that basically if you just okay, but there's also a couple of cutting points, right? There's this one and this one. And of course, you can probably just try to read it out and try to understand what's going to happen if white cuts in one of them and then the other, and what will you do? But you don't have to do that. Once you see that the group is dead, you could just spend an extra move to reinforce your shape. For example, just like
Yeah.
connect one of those, like here. And when you do this, you make your outside shape perfectly strong, and then white is dead. White can't do anything. And then whatever white does next, if white plays something like this,
Then you go to
then
T13.
you go to T13 and you kill. Yeah, and whatever white does next, you know what to do. You just make the killing move. So that's kind of the simple way of looking at it. But in the game, you play this move, which is like attempting
Yeah.
to kill the dead group. And white responds. And do you see a problem with this?
Yeah. Well, now those 2 stones are in Atari.
Yes, and then you
You
connect.
have to do,
Yes, and now has anything changed?
yeah. Now he can play S12.
Exactly. Yeah, now he can play S12, and it's not alive yet because you can play here, and it's a ko. Now if you manage to capture those 3 stones, you kill. But if white now plays a ko threat, I don't know. Let's say white plays something like this, which is threatening. You respond, white takes back. And if white manages to connect here, white will live. So you just gave
Yeah.
white a chance to live here, even though the chance was completely unnecessary. So that's what
That's
what I
good.
mean. Is like, look at what's happening. Remember, your opponents are not strong. they make a lot of terrible mistakes and blunders. And you need to be like anticipating that. So when you play, always ask yourself, is my opponent making a blunder right now? Because if he is, maybe I can take some advantage of that.
Yes. And honestly, I didn't see the shape inside as being a dead shape, so I missed that too. That. The four triangles.
Yeah, so this is the basic life and death thing, and it's always whenever you see a group, try to visualize what kind of shape is inside, what's happening. Is it one of the shapes that you know? Is it the 3? Is it the 4? Is it the 5? What is it? This one's the 4, and the 4 is a terrible shape because 4 can.
Yeah.
3 is better than 4, actually, for that matter. But after this, white plays here instead of trying to live and allows you to take and then connect. And question now, okay, you do this, white extends, you do this is great, this, here, so this is all very solid. You played the whole sequence here wonderfully. And white takes, you connect, white is dead, white has only one eye, right? So white plays here, you play here, you take. So white is just desperately trying something, but it just doesn't work because you take. Now, white plays here. How to respond to this? What's going on? Take a look at this and tell me what the heck is going on here and what does black need to do?
Well, right now, the easiest thing, white can't take anything.
Okay,
White can't live.
okay.
So if you do P19, you just open everything up and there's nothing white. Those two stones.
Yeah, but of course, P19 is a simple thing to do, and you take it. But P19 is a move that you have to spend. And the question is, what happens if you don't play P19?
Well, right now you don't need to, right?
Yes?
You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, how those 4 white stones, how can they escape if you don't capture them right now? How would they ever escape?
They can't.
Yeah, so this P19 is never going to get away from you. It's always there. And you can take that P19 whenever you need. Okay, what about the 2 stones in the corner? What are they threatening?
Well, at this point, nothing, right?
Yeah, because whatever they threaten, you can always take the 4 stones with one sweep, and
Yeah.
all the danger is gone. Now, what about his big group? What's the deal with that?
Big group in the upper.
No, the big the A group.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's dead.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. So now we've just come to the conclusion that the 4 stones can't escape. There's no way they escape. The 2 stones
Yeah.
are not threatening anything because they are there, and you can always capture 2 if necessary. And the A group is dead. And that means that actually, as counterintuitive as it seems, you don't really need to do anything. And even though it seems like white is doing something active and James Bond-like in your corner, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean jack. And you can absolutely just ignore this move as if it wasn't even played and go do your own business. Whatever the next big move that you want to play somewhere on the board, go and play it. Because white just made a pass. This is a pass. And you need to see that this is a pass. When you're looking at it in the game, you're thinking, oh, that's a move. White is doing something there. That looks dangerous. But it's not dangerous when you break it down into elements. 4 stones, 2
Yes.
stones, the group. Dead, dead, and dead. Okay. So in the game, of course, you take. which is understandable. But that's me telling you that it's a whole. You're winning this game, so yeah, everything's fine. But why waste a move? Because this is you could have spent this move somewhere else and gained another 10 points of territory, maybe. And then maybe after this, white plays here. Was there anything else in this game? Let me see. Yeah, maybe this is actually what yeah, and after this, the right group got separated, and yeah, trouble happened. So this is what I wanted to show you here. This is the kind of analysis that I want you to run whenever there is something like this, something suspicious, especially when you can capture something in one move. Very often, you don't need to capture it. When the stones are being, like, for example, let's say, I don't know, white tries something crazy like this, and you capture, white goes here, you, I don't know, connect, white tries something like this, you connect, and then white plays here, for example. Let's imagine this sequence.
Okay.
I just came up with a sequence on the spot, so it's not perfect. But let's imagine that this is what happened. And the same question. What should black do now?
Q2.
Very reasonable, right? But now, a follow-up question. What happens if black doesn't play Q2? Q2 is a simple move, I agree. This situation is, I agree, it's so much more difficult than the one that was in the upper right corner. So this is my bad. I've upped the level like a lot. So if you don't play Q2, maybe white will play Q2, right?
Sure, but then I can play P2,
Yes.
and he hasn't gained anything.
What
really.
what if after that white plays Q1? So Q2, P2, Q1.
P1,
Q1.
E1.
No, Q1.
White plays Q1,
Yes.
and black plays P1.
Nope. Look, let's say we ignore now and we play something like this. White plays here, we block, white plays here. Do you see it now?
Oh, yeah. S1.
Yes, white is threatening to live. And only now, when it's actually necessary, now you kill. Now this is the moment to kill. But you don't need to kill it before it's even trying to live. Right now it's a dead group, so there is no need to there's no need to do. This is, of course, my bad, because this is so many steps forward from this situation. Here, it's not difficult to see that the white stones are not escaping anywhere. It's just they're completely captured, and you can capture them at any moment, like now or 100 moves later. So this capture, to see that it's not useful, easy. But the situation that I showed you here, this is a lot harder. Maybe the easier one would be something like, for example, white does, I don't know, let's say, cut, white plays here, here, and then white plays this kind of move, for example. Because I see this kind of stuff all the time in the 23Q, 22Q games. people try crazy things, insane things.
So right now, okay, right now, the two black stones, number 2 and number 8,
Yep,
have 3 liberties.
yep,
The, the 4 white stones only have 2 liberties.
yep,
And even if you go, if white goes to P1, it still only has 2 liberties.
yeah.
If it goes S1,
S1.
well, the group still has 2 liberties, so you
Yeah.
go to P1.
Yeah. You go
So,
P1 and
You
that's
can't
a
get
tie.
out.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So when you see this again, it looks dangerous because white this is your opponent and he just played it, and you're thinking, and your brain starts panicking a little bit, like what to do, we have to do something. But actually, this is again just a silly mistake. White is playing a move that doesn't do anything at all, and it doesn't threaten anything at all. And so when you see it for what it is, that okay, white has 2 liberties, black has more, what? Then just go ahead and play whatever you want to play. Let's invade here and reduce the white territory. White can't do anything anyway. And only when white plays something like this and actually threatens something, that's when you start doing something about this.
Yeah, now you do P1.
Now you do P1 and just capture those 4 stones. Yeah, exactly. And again, if white now plays, for example, this move.
Well, actually, in this configuration, you don't need to do anything. You could ignore that.
Exactly. So only when white does something like this is Atari, so you have to now react and capture. But if white does something like that, which seems like it's doing something, but it's not, because it's not threatening the 2 stones again, the 4 stones are still securely captured. There is no need to do this, absolutely no need at all. So we just ignore and we go do another move somewhere else. That's kind of how you do it. You always think, am my opponent missing something big? Is he now making a blunder, or is he not? I hope he is.
Yeah.
So always looking for, and that's how, this is also how I play. I'm always looking for a chance that my opponent is making a mistake. And if he is, that's wonderful, and I could play and do something else. All right.
And actually, those 4 white stones give me at least 1 eye down there, maybe 2.
Yeah, exactly. So this black group is never
So-
going to be in trouble. Yeah, this black group is going to be...
That whole black group is connected and safe.
Yes, everything's fine. I was going to... Okay, let me stop here. Stop the first video at least.